In this video, I'm going to show you how I make rusted tin plate for all my metal projects using empty tin cans. Hi there, welcome to the Upcycle Design Lab. My name's Cindy and I craft using recycled and repurposed materials. And lately I've been obsessed with tin cans. I've been making a lot of tin can projects, so I thought I should back up and show you how I prepare the tin cans for all of my projects using just three things: a hammer, some tin cutters, and some matches. Before we get started, I wanted to show you some of the projects that I've made using these rusted metal sheets. One of my favorite projects is this Alice in Wonderland yard art. I also made a United States flag wall hanger or door hanger, some picture frames, and most recently some Christmas ornaments. All right, I might have been exaggerating a little bit when I said you only needed matches, because you do also want a nice sized fire pit and some firewood. But you don't have to worry about washing out the cans or taking the paper off. All you need is to make a little teepee around some cans and then let the fire burn for an hour or so. I usually let mine just burn down to the ashes, and occasionally I'll throw an extra log or two on there, but generally I think that the burn time is around 60 minutes. So once the fire has burned out, like I said, I normally let it just burn all the way down to the ash. You can go ahead and this is a very dirty job, so you'll want some gloves, but you can dump most of the ash out and start collecting your cans. This next step is the messiest step, and you might even want to wear a mask because it's kind of dusty and sooty, and you definitely want to keep your gloves on. But once you've retrieved your cans from the fire pit, you might notice that the bigger cans need a little more burn time to get down to the rusted finish, because the bigger the can, the thicker the metal tends to be, is what I've found. But you can go too far. You can't. This was obviously in a really hot spot, but the good news is that there's still plenty of metal here that's usable, and so you might need to play around a little bit with how long you want to leave things in the fire pit to burn, but you are going to get some variations no matter what you do. So for this step, you just need your tin cutters. I like to use the bigger pair. These come in at least two sizes, and the smaller ones are good for some things, but for actually tearing down the cans, the bigger ones work better. And you definitely want something to catch all of the soot and dirt and ash that's going to come off of these cans. But all you need to do is cut straight down. And you can be kind of rough with the cans. I'm just going to pull them apart as I'm going, and then I'm just going to cut across the bottom. And again, I'm going to sort of try to stretch it out a little. And then I can just cut around the bottom edge here. I do save the can lids as well, but this bottom piece can just go straight into the trash. If you've ever tried to flatten a can that isn't rusted, you know that they're really sturdy and tough and hard to get the curve out of, which is one of the reasons that I like working with the rusted version. I like the way it looks better too, but it is much easier to work with. So once you've got the bottom cut off, and then there's a little reinforced top edge that I just cut off, you can go ahead and flatten the can out with your fingers. Now some people might be able to get the cans flat without getting these creases in there. I am not really able to do that, so I don't really worry about it. Plus, once you do the hammering and you cut a piece out, if you're using a smaller piece especially of the tin plate, you'll never even notice that crease was there. So I'm just kind of flattening it out with my fingers here, and then we'll do the last step to get this a little bit flatter and make it ready for the next craft project that I want to make. A few years ago I made a video on how to rust the tin cans, and I was just doing tin can lids at that point. And if you want to, you can go ahead and do this other process. I, to be honest, don't even bother doing it anymore. But if you want to get more of a rusted look than is here even, you can lay these out with sprinkle them with some salt and then spray some peroxide on there as well, and that will continue and put them in the sun, and that will continue the rusting process even more. But like I said, I don't really bother with that step for my tin plate. And you can also trim up the edges with the cutters if you need to after you've gotten the bottom cut off. Sometimes there's some burrs and things. Again, I don't really worry about that until I'm actually using the tin plate to make something. So the last step is just to hammer this a little bit flatter, and you can certainly hammer as much or as little as you want to. In some cases, I've just used pieces like this until I've cut them out, and then I tend to do a little bit more of smoothing out of the metal. But you can do it beforehand, afterwards, or both. And all you need is a hard surface and a nice metal hammer to work with to tap out the metal. So, what would you make from these metal sheets? Let me know in the comments. You can find links to the tutorials for my metal art projects that you saw in this video in the description box below. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more ideas on how to make and create more ecologically and economically. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you back here soon in the lab.